other than imitating Olson when you read, I'd like to hear more about what you think is the value or the weight of silence or interruption in your poetry.
That's a great question. So there's this punk band called Fugazi out of DC, which is where I grew up, and I remember this interview where Ian says something about how he used to be in this really ferocious punk band called Government Issue that was really loud, right? And Fugazi's got a lot more sort of variousness in its approach to making music. Anyway, so he was practicing with this newly formed band, and his grandmother said to him, you know, you would sound a lot louder if you put some silence in there. And I always remembered that in terms of poetry, it's like the silence actually makes the other parts louder. And so I think there's that. And in disruption, I'm really interested when things are stacked and they feel, that they're not necessarily, they don't necessarily follow. Because it seems to me that represents more closely actual experience, because things aren't seamless. It's there's a lot of, disruption, you're talking and then there's someone across the classroom, the other classroom, I can hear that person, and I might be thinking about something else at the same time, or, notice something else. So I'm interested in how one can create that kind of little cosmos by stacking disparate things together, or even disturbing the syntax so that you think it's, you think I'm about to say something else, but I reverse it or say something completely unexpected. Yes.
Not to get off the subject of your poetry, but I'm curious, you're talking about Charles Olson, and Olson's person and his public persona in relationship to women and women poets is particularly fraught with peril, and I think it's fairly rare for a female poet now to embrace Olson in the way that you seem to. And I wonder if you could talk a little bit about your relationship to Olson as a woman.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. Well, if I want to be sassy, I would say it's like I own him. It's like I'm gonna own Olson, right? He's really useful, as a poet and as a thinker. And so, partly, again, to be sassy, it's like, I grew up in a house that didn't really have books, and, I was interested in poetry from a young age, and I had to figure it out, and I went, I picked the school really randomly. I got really lucky. I went to this kooky Marxist program in San Francisco. I only picked it because it's like, I know I like San Francisco, it's like, and I want to move as far away as possible from where I grew up. So I got, but to be fair to myself, I also saw that it was a literature-based creative writing program, and that's what I wanted. I was like, I need the stuff. I need that stuff. I know I need it, and I need to figure it out by the landscape. I need to figure out what came after what and who was influencing who. I need to figure it out. Other people had it figured out. I felt like a class thing also. It's like, you got the classics, and I got, nothing or whatever. I just felt like I really needed to own it. So there's a certain way that I approach Olson is like, he's like the big daddy, like the big patriarchal figure in poetry. Town is another one, and he's really useful as well, problematic as well. And I think it's important. I think it's important to know what came before you and to use it as your ground and make it what you want it to be. In my writing class, it's mostly women. We have 2 guys and 6 women, and this. I was telling Dave the story. It's like, and they're all really strong feminists, right? And so it's really fun to read Olson when he has these little moments, like in the Maximum Poems, these last 2 lines. This island of men and girls, this last line, and to have one of the most fabulous feminists in the room to read that line is just really fun to notice it and to play with it and to riff off of it and to write against it
was just thinking about that. Number one.
Right.
You read it in my
Well,
mind. Were you
because-
looking at me?
Well, no, because in that poem, I put I steal a line from Olson.
That wasn't
Like,
his though, because how can he?
He wrote "Love the Will, Stay Inside It," and I made it about, being inside my woman's body and deal with it, to be out there with it. So it's part of my project is to it's why I named it Hecate Loki. It's like an old goddess and blood, menstrual, post-pregnancy blood. So it's to sort of to normalize woman's female body, right? And to make it visible.
Well, let's say thank you.
Thank you.
I have books available if you're interested, and would you please fill out the survey?